BRIONI is a men's fashion house founded in Rome, Italy in 1945 by Nazareno Fontecoli and Gaetano Savini, artists and tailors. BRIONI's clients included Hollywood icons and heads of state. BRIONI's first fragrance release was in 2014, BRIONI EDT. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Coloniano D, and welcome back to my Generation X olfactory experience. And as you can see from the House of BRIONI, I'll be reviewing EDP Intense. This was a 2021 release, and it's a woody amber fragrance. Now, the original BRIONI EDT back in 2014, I did have my eye on it, but for some reason I always put it off. So, to this day, it's very hard to acquire even just a sample of that. And from what I gather, the price tag at the time, which is probably why I, pretty much turned my nose to it, it was very expensive. So, I can't say much about that fragrance except for the fact that it had a high price tag. So maybe one day I'll just dig a little bit harder and maybe acquire a sample just to get my nose on it. So let's go over the notes of this EDP Intense version. We have mandarin, bergamot, pink pepper. Heart notes, we have green apple, saffron, and patchouli. Base notes, we have agarwood, oud, ambroxan, and vanilla. Now, I did spray some before I did the introduction, and this bottle, for some reason, it's very glossy and reflective and fingerprints and all that good stuff. So I'm just going to leave it standing there. I'm not going to pick it up and, start showing the presentation on this. You could see the presentation. It's really nice. It's very a masculine bottle, that's for sure. So right at the top, I sprayed some on. You get that. This is my scent of the day, actually. You get some spices from the pink pepper, some honeyed mandarin. And the mandarin, it's kind of a little bit on the sweeter side, but spicy, and it's honeyed. And it's really nice. And a bit of the spicy bergamot right at the top. And for some reason, I get some of the vanilla at the top also. So notes pretty much run together in this fragrance for some reason, which works for me because it adds a little warmth along with the patchouli. There is an earthy redolence right from the top, okay? There are no development stages in this one, so what you get from the top is what you get from the base. Now, when I say that, I don't mean it's a linear fragrance. It's just more rich at the top, and you'll see as it moves on. And even at the top from the saffron, there's a little bit of a leathery aspect or facet from the saffron. And it's not very complex. It's an ambery type fragrance, and you get some powderiness. Okay, now the powderiness, it may come from the pink pepper. So there's a little bit of powderiness at the top that I get, and the oud is nice, not barnyardy, just a good, rich, nutty oud. Okay, as BRIONI EDP Intense progresses, you get the comforting opulence from the ambery ambroxan. So what you get at the top, you're getting at the mids. It's just through and through. There, like I said earlier, there is no real development to the fragrance. Now, by all means, this is not a very complex fragrance. The note play has a rich and seductive quality to it, somewhat romantic. So even though you can wear this You know, dressed up, casual, going out. This is a great date night fragrance. And it's very distinguished. So as we move towards the latter part of the development, the fragrance sits closer to the skin. This is not a heavy projector, okay? If you're a heavy sprayer, you know, works really good. And as we move on, you get that little bit of green apple kind of peeks through. It's really nice. So I'm smelling it right now, and it is sweet. I get the vanilla, the little leatheriness from the saffron. It's really nice. And also, even though it's a note not listed, I get a very, very slight mintiness. But there is no minty note. Could be from the patchouli. And I get that little bit of green apple. And like I said, it's rich. And then it progresses into somewhat aromatic, a vanilla aromatic and woody. The projection and sillage are average. And although I think this fragrance is subdued by design, not to be intended to define the person wearing it. And as I always say, it's the person who defines the fragrance. So it's not very complex, top to bottom. Me personally, if I were to recommend this, I wouldn't recommend paying full retail for it. It's really nice. It's a great masculine fragrance, an easy reach, grab and go, spray it, hit the road. That's what BRIONI EDP Intense is. It's really nice. Like I said, don't buy this for retail. Find a good discount fragrance house that you can buy this from. Longevity is a solid 6 to 8 hours, and it lingers, and it's casual to dress up, great for a date night, and very versatile. So I wore this today, and it's still in the 90s. It's been in the 90s for the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's such a heat wave. So that's what I get from this fragrance. 6 to 8 hours, if that. You know, I was thinking 6 to 8 hours, but really more 4 to 6 hours, and really becomes a skin scent. So, like I said, try not to spend too much money on this. There are similar fragrances out on the market. If you want something good, casual for work, maybe a little date night, because the fragrance really is a nice vanilla ambery. And like I said, it's very seductive. It is kind of a romantic fragrance without it being too overwhelming. There is a slight little muskiness to it. And like I said, that woodiness from the agarwood is a good nutty. So it's not barnyardy or anything like that. It's really nice. It's a good vanilla amber fragrance. And if, like I said, if you want a quick pick, just pick this up. I'm not going to go too deep in on this. I'm going to hang around for maybe 10 minutes and that's it. And we're approaching the end of the video. So let me know if you got your nose on this, what you think. I haven't really explored Brioni's fragrances too much. And for now, I'm just going to stop here. I'll be honest with you. So that's my review. And thank you for watching. Thank you once again for listening. And I will see you next time. Thanks.